Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of First Impression Sports Talk. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. We're going to have a great conversation with my good friend Misha, who I went to high school with. So let's get started.
Welcome to Jasmine Pollock's First Impression Sports Talk, the fastest growing sports talk show in the country. And now, here's your host, Jasmine Pollock.
Welcome back to Jasmine's First Impression Sports Talk. And my guest today is going to be Misha O'Neal. We both went to high school together, even though she transferred to Countryside High School. She is a coach, she is a teacher, and she is also a student, and she's an entrepreneur. So let's bring in Misha and have a great conversation and just chat. So let's bring in Misha. Hi, Misha. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Jasmine. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's so great to be even supporting your show. And not only that, I get to voice what my background is in sports, and I'm so glad I get to help you like help you with this platform. And I love sports talk. I love the fact that you invite so many different athletes and different people from a lot of athletic backgrounds to even just get a view of what it's like to even be a big, whether you're part of a Division 1 or even part of behind the scene when it comes to the sports industry. I definitely respect the fact that you shine a light on every avenue regarding the sports industry. So really, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for taking the time. I know it was a hassle trying to get it together, but we are finally here, folks. So let's get started.
Yes.
So, Misha, tell us a little bit about, where you are right now. Like, where is Misha O'Neal at right now in her life?
Misha O'Neal, honestly, she's just now starting to draw the X on her map. She just graduated college with her bachelor's in sports management, and I'm so happy about that. And I just got done traveling Europe with one of my closest best friends. And right now, Misha is trying to pursue a master's in sports management outside the country. But in order for me to do that, I have to save up. And right now, with my bachelor's degree, I am teaching and I am coaching right now at a private school, K through 12. And it's been hectic. Don't get me wrong, it's been crazy. But not only that, I felt like I got to experience something about myself. I got to learn so many different ways on how to treat different colorful personalities regarding kids, and especially regarding student athletes, because they're more than an athlete at the end of the day. They're students plus the athletic part. So you're helping kids. Kids are already trying to figure out who they are, but now you're helping them identifying them as an athlete too. And I think honestly, it feels like a lot like mentoring, and that's where my passion is starting to grow in actually. And so right now, I'm saving money and I'm pursuing this master's degree outside of the U.S. so I can afford it. And then I also have one more year of eligibility, and I want to use that year to not only just reside in another country for a year, but just to travel the world.
Right, absolutely. And traveling is fun. Like I saw some of the pictures, and we do have some pictures. So Jeremiah, let's run that. Let's get the production crew. Yes. Look at those pictures of you overseas, girl. I mean, like you were living it up. So just what was the experience like going overseas? Like what was that experience like? Because I've never been
Oh,
overseas.
Jasmine, it was one of the most exhilarating experiences you can ever have. Honestly, I went to 5 different countries, and each country represented a different identity. And such as the pictures you have right now, that was in France, and it was just so elegant, just being in the country. The food was elegant, it was pretty. That's London. And it just reminded you of New York a little bit. Plus they also spoke English just in a different accent. And it was really fun to be around the people. They're super funny, super sweet, super nice in London. And it reminded me of New York a little bit. You have that high, you have that high energy. You have a fast-paced energy. A lot of things are compacted, but you have one of the most greatest experiences of your life. And there's so many different types of restaurants that you are wanting to experience. And I love London. And Spain was really good too. The food was great. The beach was great. It reminded me of an elevated Florida, and
An elevated Florida.
yeah, literally. You know, when we're both from here, it was just a bunch of beaches, just a vibe,
Yes.
chill, and that's how it feels like when you're in Spain. But you have a train. Like one thing about Europe, that's when I went to Spain, France, Italy, the Netherlands, and I went to London. When I went to the UK, it was you had a train system, and I know in Florida you're not familiar with it, but since I lived in Boston for 4 years, it was very easy for me to access transportation around the country.
Right.
So it was it was honestly a great experience. Like Italy's known for the amazing food. The Netherlands is known for party life and just the different types of attractions that are there. It's really wild. And then you have Spain, just known for the chill, the beach vibe, and just more of a cultural vibe too, as well, regarding just the history. And similar to Italy in that aspect too. You have France that is just known for the baked goods, the baked croissants, desserts, anything with cheese and bread. It's so good. And then you have London. That's just you can empathize with it a lot as an American, you know, because you know we all speak the same language, but it's a little more hipster. And and honestly, I love it. And I think traveling the world also made me addicted to it because I'm going to travel again this summer. And honestly, it's one of the best things I'm looking forward to for the year.
Yeah, that's really exciting too. Just hearing about your experience of going overseas, because my dream is to go overseas. Like I have a lot of dreams. I'm approaching my final year of college myself. I'll be graduating this spring, so excited. You know, just getting ready to just embark on my career and different things like that. So hearing your story is awesome. Hearing that like you want to get there, you have so many experiences, and then you're a coach. So let's dive into that. You are a coach of a girls basketball team. What is the experience like for that? Did you see yourself being a coach?
To be honest, I kind of, I feel like I had my thoughts on it in college. I thought I would do it as a summer job during college, but it didn't happen. I'm actually doing it now earlier than I expected, especially as a head one. I didn't expect to be a head coach this year at all at the age of 22. I would think I'd be assistant coach to maybe a public high school team, but the private school I am in right now, they definitely needed a head coach, and I thought I can take it head on. So I decided to take the position because I was looking for, during that time in August, looking for jobs during the time in the sports industry. So coaching was one of the attributes that I had regarding experience on sports because I dealt with kids and I played basketball. So I thought it just fit well for my personality in general too as an athlete. And I wanted to see how I liked it. And I thought I was going to get this assistant coach, but they needed a head coach. So they said, you get the head coach position. So I was like, okay. And I love it. You get to bond with the kids really well. Since it's a K through 12 school, it's not really just range from JV to varsity. You have it can be a mix of different grades. But however, if they perform at a high level or they perform at a level where they're willing to elevate themselves as players and as humans, I think honestly they're a fit. They're fit for my team. I have been having to teach the girls a lot about ethical values, about just learning how to have just mannerism for the sport as well, how to have sports. What do you call it? I'm sorry. Just in a way where sports, you have to learn how to respect what you're playing. And so most of the girls on my team, yeah, for sure, sportsmanship, and they don't know. And most of the girls on my team, they don't actually know how to play basketball. These are brand new girls that actually don't know how to play. I have a lot of girls at the school, since it's a small school, that don't really understand basketball and how to play basketball. So it's like teaching someone the fundamentals from scratch and building on top of that over and over for them to memorize. It's great because I get to get a depth of their home life and into their personal lives and see what I can do to help them become better as people, and therefore it's going to translate on the court because of the way their aura is, the way they carry themselves as an athlete. Even if maybe the skills aren't as where it needs to be, their their attitude is, and that's what's going to keep,
Right.
and that's what I'm going to help perfect their attitude about the game, so they can build on their skills from that attitude. Because when you have an attitude for something or a goal for something, you build on that goal through your
Mm-hmm.
attitude and the way you practice. And
Right.
that's what I've been teaching the girls, just about sports ethics, ethical values, and it's been doing well so far, because they've learned so much. They learned just a regular 2-3, they
Yeah.
learned how to do an upper man, learning how I get to incorporate the dribbling drills or skills drills that I've used when I was a player at college
Mm-hmm.
or in AU, and I got to incorporate those skills or those skill drills into them, and just to see them grow from where they were at first to now, it's a great feeling just for me as a coach. Because for me right now, we lost 2 of our games unfortunately so far, but I think one of the greatest things for me is to see improvement regarding any aspect, whether that's their attitude, the way they improved on their layups, the way
Mm-hmm.
that they
Right.
incorporate those drills and practice into a game. And if I see that, honestly, it brings so much more happiness than I thought it would bring, other than just a big win. Because when you start from scratch and you learn how to just help them grow from just a, just a place where they thought they would never exceed, I just think that's a great feeling for me, other than just a W. And so we're getting towards
Right.
that. Of course, that's my ultimate goal. But I think for me, since I have a team that has never really been introduced to the game of basketball, I have to
Mm-hmm.
have a different mindset, a different goal for these kids that I'm coaching, other than just a game of having a win, having a winning record.
Right. Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
important because, even though you want the win, of course, we all want to win. We want to have those experiences of being on the other side, but you learn more when you lose. You learn how far you have to go. You learn how far your team has to go as a coach, as a player, different things like that in anything you do. So that's a very powerful message that you said, especially, you give that energy to your players, and that resonates with the players. Like coach really cares. They care about us succeeding. They care about us getting to the next level, even though we lost. But there's a lot of things you can learn from a loss. There's a lot of things you can learn and say, hey, we know what this feels like, so let's try to find ways to find success. So I find that very awesome. Now, you, besides being the coach, you are a player. You play basketball. I've seen you play basketball in high school. Let's read off your stats because I
Yeah.
did my research. So let's talk about this. So you averaged, I'm gonna give it to you. You averaged 17 points a game for Fisher College. I mean, that's insane. 41% from the field, 76% free throw shooter. That's you. So what was that experience playing in Boston, playing in college? And we got the picture. Yes, we do. We got the picture. So, Misha,
Oh
I
my
always used to
God.
call you, right? I used to call you the female Kyrie Irving in high school. I know you remember that. How what's it
I'm
like playing
dead.
basketball at the pro level?
Oh my God. Thank you. That's so flattering. Thank you. I mean, I didn't like I seen my senior stats, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little geeked up too. I was like, what? I do make that much points a game. And I think it was me growing as an athlete for me, because my freshman year it didn't start off like that. It was definitely like in the three points per game.
Hmm.
But as a college athlete, you learn not so much about skill based. You learn more about how to use your IQ and how to execute a play just by perfecting the fundamentals that you had. And fundamentals, to be honest, they're based on consistency. It's not
Right.
really, and for me, yeah, of course, when it comes to shooting, when it comes to just dribbling, or when it comes to just even having a proper simple layup, it all comes down to fundamentals. So my coach, he actually coaches at another team now. So that year I had a different coach, but I give all my credit to my old coach, because he broke down the game for me and broke down how I was as a player, and then he built me back up again. And I
Hmm.
feel like that's what college is. It breaks you down from what you learned in high school, and they reteach you how to become a certain organized player for this game in college, because they're definitely more technical when it comes to playing in college. I feel like the game is definitely more. You have since I was at NIA D2 school, we played Division 1, we played Division 3, Division 2, we played just some private schools and junior colleges. So it was a different. It definitely had. I had a different identities of playing different teams, and different teams had different identities. So for me personally, I think I've just grown just by understanding how different teams are from the maximum level, which is Division 1, to the minimum level, which was maybe even JUCO or less. At the end of the day, it's all an experience that I grew from as a player because, I for me, I'm sorry. Can you still hear me? By the way, I know it's getting loud in here.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, continue.
Because I know. Yeah. Sorry about that. Because for me, it was a thing where I just felt, dang, like, why am I not growing? Why can I not do this and do that? And it's because I'm not learning to adjust to different identities of playing style. Because we were playing girls from Oregon, we were playing girls from California, we were playing girls from all over the state. So for me, my struggle freshman year is I didn't know how to adjust to different playing styles. But over time, as I played over the years of college, I've learned that through my old coach. Shout out to Coach Ford, because I've practiced every year. I kept on just, even early in the mornings before class, I sat here and went to the YMCA and just got some shots up before I went to class. And then, so after a while, all that dedication and you wanting to learn, you have to want to be indulged into learning the game more so than playing it too. Because in college, if you're not willing to look at film or look at your background as a player and just play it, it's not really, you're not going to know what to learn from it. You're just going to be stuck in the same place that you already know. So I had to be in an uncomfortable place to be comfortable again as a player. And that's how I feel like I've grown over time as a player. I just started to understand the game. I started to understand how college girls play. And most girls in college play very structured. It's very fundamental. You don't really get to the amount of flexibility as you do when you're in high school. So for me, it's understanding how to not have that flexibility and learning how to have discipline regarding my playing style in a court and executing it on the court. And I think, honestly, that's one of the biggest teaching, one of the most ways I've been teach. The best thing I've been teaching is to learn how to adjust. And I think that's what made me score those 17 points per game. It's because at that age, at that time, it was I still have one more year of eligibility, but because of the COVID year, I still have 3. I had 3, so that COVID year didn't count. So luckily, I got an extra year to play. So for me, scoring 17 points per game, it all came down to just adjusting over time, and then adjusting to chemistry when new teammates come involved. How do you adjust off the court and on the court to have the best chemistry as a team? How do you, when you score that amount of points, but how do you do that without not only helping yourself but with helping the team? And we went to playoffs. We went to playoffs that year, but we got kicked off the first round. Unfortunately, we lost in the first round. So it is what it is. But like I said, it was one of the things where I felt like my biggest accomplishment was learning how to adjust, and that's what made me feel like I can learn how to be consistent over time with scoring. I learned how to just perfect my left hand, of course. Oh my God, when you're a basketball player and you perfect your left hand and you're right-handed, and honestly, I think it's one of the best things you can do as a basketball player. You can, that's basically, because no one really doesn't know how to guard left still that way, or perfect how to guard left. You see James Harden, he's a left-handed player, and he's still unstoppable regarding his step back when he goes to the And so I think for me, that's exactly what my identity was a player. It was just being a defensive player and just me being me going up with my left hand for the most part when I dropped to the hoop. And I felt like that's also a big that's why I contributed a lot of points to per game, because no one can really stop my left hand that way.
And another thing too, even when I saw you play basketball in high school, you were always humble. You were never that player. Like I see a lot of players, they beat their chest, they're, all amped up. You have never been like that. You were like, okay, I scored, I'm going on the other side of the court to play defense, or I made a defensive play, I'm on the other side of the court. You were not into all that. You've always been a humble basketball player. And that's one thing I respect, because even though like 17 points per game is insane. Like that's phenomenal. Especially at the level that you're playing at, that's phenomenal. So it's inspiring, those types of things. Even you being a coach now, you can tell your players types of things like that, and just give them the vision so that they know, like, okay, let me get to that next level. I'm trying to be like coach. You know what I mean? So it's phenomenal that you went through that experience, playing at, the college level and different things like that. So that's awesome. But just to wrap up, I have two more things. So you have a business. You're an entrepreneur.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. We have pictures of that as well. So let's show the pictures of Misha's product. She has a skin and hair care line. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is all you. I mean, you have everything in the bag right now. So just tell the audience a little bit about Moss Glow, what's your envision for, and how did you create this idea?
Yes, so for most people, for me, it was just the fact that I was struggling finding good hair products in college. I was so adamant on finding a great hair product that isn't overly expensive. It's not going to break off my hair, and because I was in a colder environment, I felt like my hair was so much more dry. It was way more dry than I thought it would be. So I was trying to discover all these products, and then I realized, and I started to look at the back of the label and look up what those complicated chemicals were. And honestly, I was just like, what? Why is this in your product? Why is this in my product? And I started to look up the reasoning and the purpose behind you see certain chemicals in my product. And I started to empathize and understand why they have certain things, such as such as preservatives, such as certain humectants that are better than maybe plant-based, because a lot of people are more addicted to texture of the product rather than just how vegan friendly the product is. So I'm started to do a lot of research, and I was like, you know what? I want to learn how to make a product of my own, a curly hair product that can be beneficial for everybody, beneficial for everybody's growth. Everybody doesn't have to be too, I guess skeptical about it, because they don't know what's in that product. They don't know just the definition of fexinol and just certain alcohols, like sterile alcohols, and certain carcinogens that are happening that are in your product just because they want to preserve it. So I did so much research to find any things that were vegan friendly and for every single product that I've made. And after a while, it was just for me at first. I wanted to start to make my own hair mask and my own skincare. And then after a while, I started to give it to my sisters, and they started to love it. So then I started making my own little samples. I remember I didn't even have my own label yet. I had like these Dollar Tree labels, sticker labels, and I would just write on it and just give it to somebody or give it to people that wanted to try it, and they loved it. So, and then I developed my own brand. I just got in contact with a lot of people on social media that either did labeling, did marketing. And over time, I just built upon that to where my brand is, which is Mo's Glow. Unfortunately, right now, I am saving money for the sports management program that I really want to. I definitely want to pursue. So, and running a business alone costs money, and then therefore you do have to sit here and keep on making sure that your products are not going bad too soon, and you have to make sure that even though your products are vegan friendly, you have to make sure that you need a preservative strong enough to just hold that product together without it rotting. Because when you buy fruit or you buy oranges, it's different from buying those Dole oranges in a cup or whatever, Dole pineapples in a cup. Those can last years because it has a preservative. But when you're dealing with a vegan and eco-friendly preservative to just make sure your products don't go bad, it's harder for you to find that if you want it very organic and very organic friendly. So even my research with that is still going on to this day. And I want to make sure that I want to also make sure that I'm consistent with it. But because I'm trying to do so many different things like traveling, then I want to do my entrepreneur. I want to pursue this sports management program. It's a lot to do at one time. So I've decided, okay, what is a priority? What is going to cost the most time, right? And
Right.
no, what is of time is of value. Which decision is time? It's gonna make my time a little bit more valuable. And right now, I have 1 more year of eligibility. I don't want my legs to go to waste. So
Right.
I want to make sure that I pursue this program for this year, and then by after this program, that's when I want to pursue Moslow again and go back onto remaking products and redoing my research and honestly making a product that's beneficial for all hair types. Because at the end of the day, I think our goal is to have healthy hair. I think we're so focused on
Absolutely. Thank
our
you.
texture. Yes, because we're so focused on just the textures of hair and how it can be
Yes.
better than one other. And there is no better than one other. All hair textures are beautiful. And people put so much charisma and so much character into hair that, don't get me wrong, of course it deserves its character, but it shouldn't overpower or become superior than another. So my goal for my products is to make sure my products represent the healthiness of hair, not really not just really identify or enhancing more 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 of a pattern than anybody else's. Of course, I want my hair to enhance the best of your curls and to the best of healthy hair, but I'm not looking for what makes your hair look the best. I'm looking for,
Hmm.
when I make my products, my goal is to make sure I make a product that is the most healthiest for your hair
Absolutely.
when I do my research. And yeah, and all those when I make the shampoo, the conditioner, and the African black soap, facial scrub, it's all of natural products. But however, it's still a little bit it needs to be a little bit refined. So
Yeah.
but it costs money. All
Yeah.
that is cost money with an LLC, trademark, and just consistently buying inventory regarding your packages, on where you're going to store the products and where you're going to store your ingredients. It is a lot. So I want to make sure I have all my time invested into that business into Moslow before I pursue it again. My time, I have the time for it. But right now, with coaching, teaching, and then also pursuing this master's, I definitely think it needs to be on the back burner for right now.
Yeah, and it seems like you for sure you want to put time into it. So I can tell like you're really saying, you know what, even though I have a lot going on, I'm going to hold off on this, and when I do have the time and the focus, I'm going to make sure that I make this product the best I can make it and do my research in the process. So that's a very powerful thing, because so many people, they jump to so many things and not focusing on, okay, I have this in front of me right now, to where I'm
Right.
like, okay, let me focus on this now. And then, okay, this can always wait. My idea is still here. So it's just phenomenal that you already have your priorities together. You already have your vision. And that's, at our ages, that is a very powerful thing, is to have that vision, those goals that you can see, that you can say, you know what, I'm going to attain this. I have dreams, I have goals, I have ambitions that I want to get done now. So that way I can start cranking into my other chapter of my life, essentially, especially with
Right.
most people. That's awesome. That's inspiring. I mean, things like that is inspiring. And I'm glad that I'm able to give you a platform like this to speak and give yourself, some props. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we need platforms. We need people to, interview people like you who are very successful, who are doing a lot of good things. So thank you, Misha. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being a guest on my show. That wraps up
Of
this
course.
special edition of First Impression Sports Talk. Yes. And if you
I
guys want to
appreciate being
see
here,
past
Jasmine.
episodes of my show, yeah, of course. If you like to see past episodes of my show, you can go to my website at jasmineonsports.com. You can catch my show on Mondays at 3:30 every Monday. And this Monday, I will not be having a live show. You will be seeing this exclusive interview with Misha. So that wraps it up. Thank you guys. See you guys next time for more First Impression Sports Talk.